Viktor Gyökeres is a name that has steadily risen through the ranks of European football, not with flashy tricks or headline-grabbing controversy, but with a cold, calculated style of play that strikes fear into opposing defenders. A striker with relentless energy, elite positioning, and a ruthless eye for goal. But what truly separates Gyokeres from the rest isn't just how he plays, it's how he celebrates. Each time he scores, he performs a gesture that's now iconic among his fans, both hands crossed over his mouth. A movement so deliberate, so unusual, that it has sparked endless speculation. It started as just another celebration, but quickly it turned into a mystery, a symbol, a coded message almost, whispering something deeper about who Viktor Gyökeres really is, or who he wants to be perceived as. One of the earliest interpretations came from Josh Eccles, a former teammate of Gyokeres during their time at Coventry City. Eccles had a theory, half joke, half truth. He said the gesture reminded him of Hannibal Lecter. Yes, the fictional character from The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal, known for his intelligence, calm demeanor, and horrifying appetite. A predator in human form. Eccles explained it like this: he eats people, and Viktor destroys defenses. The comparison took off. Suddenly, fans started calling him Hannibal. Memes circulated. Commentary teams picked it up. The celebration now had a dark, cinematic aura. It wasn't just hands over a mouth. It was Viktor becoming something more than a footballer, something villainous, something mythical. But was it true? In November 2023, Swedish media outlet Aftonbladet tried to get to the bottom of it. In an interview, they finally brought up the question. What does the gesture mean? Is it Hannibal? Batman? Something personal? Gyokeres smiled. There were lots of guesses. Hannibal Lecter, Batman, everything possible. But nobody got it right. No one came close, he said. Then he added, yes, it's a secret. I can clarify that, but not today. And with that, the mystery only grew. People began dissecting the gesture frame by frame, looking for clues in his interviews, tracking his social media posts. For a few months, it was one of the most bizarre and intriguing unsolved puzzles in European football. Then came the match against Porto in December 2023, a fierce rivalry game in the Portuguese league. Gyokeres scored, and as always, the gesture followed. But this time, something changed. After the match, in a flash interview with Sport TV, a journalist finally asked him about it, live on air. Gyokeres laughed. I thought you'd ask me sooner, he said. I've been here for a few months and no one asked me that question. I'll tell you after the season if we win the league, no problem. It was a tease delivered with a grin, a promise wrapped in a challenge. Win the title and the secret would be revealed. Fans were hooked. In the months that followed, Portuguese media followed every clue. Then in June 2024, something changed. A new theory emerged. This time, the inspiration wasn't Hannibal or Batman, it was Bane. Yes, Bane, the comic book villain from the Batman universe. The masked mercenary with a deep voice, immense power, and a chilling line. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. This theory gained traction after Gyokeres posted a quote on Instagram, reportedly attributed to Bane. The post was cryptic, like much of his social media presence, but fans connected the dots. The crossed hands mimicking a mask, the dominance, the mystery. It all started to make sense. And yet even now, Viktor Gyökeres hasn't confirmed it, which only adds to his allure. But Gyokeres isn't just a mystery on the pitch. His background adds another layer to the story. He was born in Sweden, but his roots stretch further east. His paternal grandfather emigrated from Hungary to Sweden. Through that heritage, Gyokeres carries dual citizenship, Hungarian and Swedish. It's a unique combination that gives him the cultural flavor of two football nations, and it subtly informs his character. His father, Stefan Gyokeres, was also a footballer, playing for IFK Östersund and Stugan in the 1980s and 1990s. While he may not have reached the professional heights his son would go on to achieve, he planted the seed. He passed on the passion. The game was in the family's blood. Viktor inherited not just a love for football, but also the discipline it takes to build a career in it. That discipline is visible in every sprint he makes, every run into space, and every finish that leaves the net shaking. But his personal life hasn't been left behind in the spotlight either. In early 2024, Portuguese broadcaster CMTV reported that Gyokeres was in a relationship with Inês Aguiar, a well-known Portuguese actress. Their relationship became public in the middle of a strong season for Viktor, and naturally, the media followed closely. Before Inês, there was another chapter, one that began in his school days. Gyokeres was once in a relationship with Amanda Nildin, a fellow footballer. They met as teenagers. Their shared love for the game connected them early on. When Viktor moved to Brighton in 2018, Amanda made the move as well, joining Brighton's women's team. It was rare. Two young athletes, both climbing the ladder of professional football, both navigating the pressures of competition and distance, together. Though that relationship eventually came to an end, it's still remembered by many fans as a glimpse into the human side of an athlete's life. Because behind the celebrations and statistics, Viktor Gyökeres is a person, a son, a partner, a man carrying both legacy and ambition. Today, he's not just scoring goals, he's building a narrative, a story filled with mystery, strength, and transformation. He doesn't just play football, he becomes something on the pitch, a symbol of power, a riddle, a villain to defenders, a hero to fans. And maybe that's why the celebration matters so much. Maybe it's not about Hannibal, or Bane, or any specific character. Maybe it's about control. By keeping the meaning hidden, Viktor reminds everyone that he controls his own story. He decides what the world sees and what it doesn't. In an era where everything is exposed, he chooses mystery. And that mystery is part of his power. So whether the celebration turns out to be a tribute to a movie villain, a comic book icon, or something deeply personal, one thing is certain: Viktor Gyökeres has already made his mark, not just on the score sheet, but in the minds of football fans around the world. He's not just a striker, he's a statement. And that celebration, it's not just a gesture, it's a warning.